Mystery surrounds a Zika case in Utah this morning. An elderly man who contracted the mosquito-borne virus overseas died. But CBS News has learned his son, who was his caregiver, also got Zika. The state has called in federal experts for help. Our Dr. David Agus is in Los Angeles. David, good morning.
Good morning, Nora.
So how do health officials believe he got Zika?
It's quite a story. Zika was first seen in Africa in 1947, and we're still learning about it. So this elderly gentleman goes to South America, comes back and gets the virus, gets very sick and dies. We're not clear it was from the virus, but he dies with the virus. A viral load 100,000 times what we've seen in other patients. And his son, who didn't travel to Africa, didn't have sex with anybody who's been there, gets the virus. So either the father brought back a mosquito in his luggage, or a mosquito, and this strain of mosquito isn't classically seen in Utah, bites the father and then the son, or bodily fluids transmitted. We just don't know. And the scary thing is, again, 70 years with this virus, and we're still learning things.
That is what's so frightening about it, and it seems to keep changing about what you need to worry about. Now, this elderly man, he had other health issues as well, too, that might have contributed to his death.
And that's what we're starting to see is that, certainly anybody can get it. Most people who get Zika aren't symptomatic. Obviously this elderly man had other things going on and had a very high level of virus. We just don't know the explanations yet. The CDC really hasn't told us the details. And certainly the medical community, we need to learn more.
David, we just learned about the first female-to-male sexual transmission. What's the implication of that?
Another case where we thought it was only male-to-female transmission. And on Thursday, it was announced that there is now documented female-to-male transmission. And so this virus can be transmitted. And what we get worried about is really two things, is that if a pregnant woman has this, the child may not fully develop the skull or the brain. And also there are cases of people getting what's called Guillain-Barré syndrome, or a neurologic defect that can in fact be significant and potentially fatal, although it's relatively rare.
So do you think these new findings will affect the current medical guidelines?
They certainly have to, and we have to learn more. And so, Congress went on break, last week for 7 weeks and put no Zika funding out there. President Obama asked for funding in February, and we still don't have money to do the testing. So there's a lot to learn, and we have to beware.
All right. Thank you, Dr. David Agus.